Well, today was an adventure. I had an interview with my coworker and the guy from the newspaper, and then I ended up having to come right home. You better stick around if you want to see what I done. Well, let's see where the damage is at. It was 168 the other day. All right. I was so mad. I gotta quit talking. Hang on. All right, 166.7. I know it's fuzzy. There we go. 166.7. All right. Again, we don't have to like what the scale says. We don't have to approve of what the scale says. It's just data. It just says how I'm doing, how much water I'm holding, how much fat I have on. It's all of those things and what I have today. So I know that I have a lot of water weight on right now, and some of it's fat too, extra fat, it is what it is. So the scale is not our enemy. It just gives us data for this moment. And tomorrow morning is going to be different. The next morning is going to be different. And tonight it'll be different. It's just data for what it is right in this moment. That's why sometimes I would stand on the scale throughout the day and at nighttime. Again, it's just data. And if you and the scale have a bad relationship, then do that. Just stand on it like 20 times a day and you'll, every day. And then, because then it's kind of like desensitizing. I mean, I ain't some mental health person. I mean, I work in mental health, but I ain't like a clinical person, but that's kind of how you work through trauma and drama, and, you're kind of press through it a little bit, you kind of desensitize yourself, desensitize yourself. Anyway, just a thought. So, all right. But don't do what I say. I may be a nurse, but I'm not your nurse. Hey, how you doing? It's time to eat. I was laughing. I thought, I'm gonna get on here, and they're gonna see me in my supper spot, and they're gonna be like, she forgot to record lunch or brunch. No. So let me tell you about my morning. We did the interview. It was at 10 o'clock, and it was really, I feel like it flowed really well. Like he asked Savannah, she's the licensed clinical therapist. And so he asked her a question to start with, and then she answered it. And then I kind of fed off of that with, I should have brought my notes home, about how, because he was like asking if somebody's obese. So he's really trying to connect why is obesity such a big problem? And so like he's already talked to nutritionists, a physical trainer, some other people, and so he's really trying to connect the dots with obesity, and now he wanted to know the mental health aspect. So she was able to talk about the dopamine, and the how if somebody decides you can want therapy, but you can't just go to therapy for obesity because it's not a mental health diagnosis like anorexia or maybe bulimia, and like pica, and some of those other things are an actual diagnosed mental disease, mental illness. So you can go see a therapist and get billed for that. But I could not, as a obese person, just walk into a therapist and say, I want therapy because I'm obese. So they would have to sit and talk to you, and you would have to then get a mental health diagnosis to be worked with from that clinical level. And we talked about the dopamine, and I talked about how I think it's important to find out why you're going in to eat, why, are you hungry, are you bored, and start finding out why you're eating. I talked about how we need to find the root cause of why we are obese. I talked about there's kind of not always, but tends to be two categories. People who experienced something in their life that caused them to turn to food, whether it's trauma or an experience. And then you have the other people where it's generational, so they were just raised on macaroni and cheese and boxed food, so that's all they know. Talked about that. Talked about how I wish that there was something like a food therapist. Talked about how, for me and the dopamine, I was getting my dopamine hit from food, and then how then I shifted it and was buying stuff on Amazon, and I said now I'm really trying to focus on shifting that. So you have to shift your focus of dopamine. And he was talking about how he was a runner for a while and he got that dopamine high. And I said, but he also had been addicted to food and loved food. And I said, I'm going to ask you a question. I said, I've never been a runner, so I can't answer this. I said, but which would have given you a higher rush of dopamine, when you were running or going through Burger King and getting a burger, fries, and a shake? And he's like, oh, the food. And I said, yeah. And so we also talked about how it's so easy to get food. We all have instant gratification. You can just call 1-800, deliver me some food, and DoorDash, and there's some other ones. So we talked about that, and so that we talked about how a lot of families nowadays, both spouses work long hours, so when you come home you don't want to stand and cook. And I talked about how when I was 300 pounds I couldn't have stood and cooked every night. So we all just kind of fed off of each other, and I feel like they did a good job. And when I do figure out when the article's out, I'll let you know. It's in the Southeast Missourian, which I always tell y'all, if I disappear, check the Southeast Missourian for my name or my mama's name. And that'll tell you all the details you need to know about why I disappeared. But anyway, so during that interview, yesterday I had a couple lower GI events, having to use the restroom, and so I felt it this morning. Like during the interview, I start feeling that cramping. I'm like, oh no. Then it'd go, and I'd be like, oh, I hope this hurries up. But then it'd go away, and I'd chime in and make it drag on longer. And then it'd kick in. I'm like, oh, I hope this hurries up. So anyway, it's like it was almost 12, and I messaged my boss. I said, I got to go home. I got lower GI issues. I feel okay everywhere else. That sinusy stuff has gotten better now. My voice is still a little weak sounding. To me, it does. But anyway, so I don't know if it's somehow interconnected or if this is, we can eat healthy till the cows come home, but that's not going to stop touching something that somebody else touched and we pick up a bug, or, eat something that our body disagrees with. And, I don't see her play alone very often. What you doing, girl? Hey, pretty girl. Hi, this is you, Mama. I call her Mama because she was a mama dog. Anyway, so I'm home now, and all right, I'll show you what I got to eat. Hang on. Salad. I made that up last night. And I did something that I think Gidget was the one that suggested it. I did it too fine. I'm not going to worry about it. But I took my sweet pickles. I think it was you, Gidget. Listen, if it was somebody else, I'm so sorry. I don't remember my own name half the time. But I took a jar of sweet pickles, the no sugar added sweet pickles, and then a jar of no sugar added bread and butter pickles. And I actually put it in my Magic Bullet blender. Well, that pureed it too much. It literally made it into like applesauce. So I'm going to have to use my chopper next time. That's not what's in my salad. My salad is just my usual salad. Just the same old, same old. But I did, I put a little, like a spoonful of my Greek salad on it. and my dressing. Okay, hang on. It seems weird to eat in here without a creamy. 93% beef that I pan fried last night. And look, this is the texture of the pureed pickles. It'd be all right. I sure hope I put salt on this. I don't remember. But anyway, I made it. It's one big patty, but then I had to break it up to fit it in here. So it's my pureed pickles and ketchup. That's what's on it. So that's what I'm eating. All right, well, I'm going to let y'all go, and I'll see you at Leper. Bye. I want to touch base on two things that was talked about today in that interview. One is Noom. So Savannah is a licensed clinical licensed clinical social worker. Anyway, and so she knows about therapy and how important therapy is for somebody who has, has to shift their mindset. And so she personally is on her own weight journey, and she has used a combination. It was a combination of a shot, that they have, like, I don't know which one she had, but, I know they have like Ozempic and I don't know, semaglutide. Anyway, all those shots. What she had to do in order for her to keep it off was, while she was receiving those injections, she was doing her own mental health work. And so she used Noom, that app, and I've seen it advertised. And so what she said is that it helped her shift her focus. And she's had a statement, and I loved it. She said, food is fuel and water is life. So she said we have to eat so that we can move, but and so we can live. But we have to have water so that we can live, because they say you can go 2-3 weeks without food before you die, but you can only go 2-3 days without water before you die. So anyway, so that's kind of something she has worked on with her own self, because we were talking about how, I know they have things like Overeaters Anonymous and Weight Watchers, and I'm drinking a cream soda with a heavy cream and some coffee too, because I'm cold, and yet I'm drinking something cold. Shut up. Shut it. No judgment. Anyway, what I told her I wish we had in our area. Hang on just a second. And also what I told the newspaper guys, that what I wish we had in this area, and a person would have to be a therapist that set it up. I wish there was a therapist in this area who would do therapy with people who are obese. Like, it's what I wanted when I first started. I wish that there was somebody who had therapy sessions with the people, and then she had group sessions. I think it's called CBT. I don't remember the term, because we have that at where I work for people who have substance use disorders. So if it's somebody who has had a they were addicted to, I'm just going to say, meth, and so they come and they have an individual therapist, but every day they also have group therapy. And so it's a way for them to, instead of like at Weight Watchers, it is program specific and it is their eating specific. But I think it would be so cool if there was such a thing as somebody who is a therapist who is seeing people individually, but then also has groups. So then people in their group can, and it wouldn't matter what way a person was eating. I don't know if, I've heard of the group Overeater Anonymous. I don't know how that's set up. I've never gone. I know a couple of you have, but so I don't really know how that's set up. But what I would like is something where, let me show you what I'm watching. Callie's on the bed, on the couch, and Sammy's on the couch, but Lou wants on the couch. You wonder, I'm not here during the day, so I wonder how, when it's just those three, how they work this out. I'm really trying to not intervene, but it's just funny because I'm wondering how this is going to go down. I'll just aim it that way so you can watch too. We'll see if Lou gets like tired of standing there. But I'll move this. So anyway, I think, like I said, I don't know how Overeater Anonymous is, but I know with our ITCD, which I don't remember what it stands for, but it's our substance use. They see a therapist, but then they sit as a group and they have these discussions about, so hey, how did you manage this week or yesterday? And I was around people that were doing it and I caved. Or, I was around people doing it and I put into practice the skills that we've learned in this group. And so they meet every day as a group and they go over different skills and tools that they can use instead of using. So I really wish they had something like that. But, again, like Savannah said, if there isn't a mental health diagnosis, you can't see a therapist. But I honestly think most of us have some type of qualifying mental health diagnosis. It's like Savannah said, we all get sad. We all get, angry. We all have we all have emotions, but it's when those emotions impact we all have anxiety, but it's when those things kind of impact our daily lives. Well, if obviously my depression and anxiety and personal trauma in my past was enough to impact my daily life by making me eat all the time. So anyway, all right, I just had to share that with you. I like her food is fuel, water is life statement. Shelly King, thank you for my coffee. You know the way to my heart. Thank you. And thank you for your kind message. I really appreciate it. It's nice to know that my TMI and being silly is not offensive to everybody. So thank you. You're going up on my board. Hang on. Your girl's a shorty short. So I got to stretch. I can't even tell if you're getting to see where I'm putting you. Ugh, right there. I'll just cover those up. So Shelly King, thank you for my coffee. I appreciate it. Now, my coworkers ain't going to appreciate it, but you are on my 5th cabinet of gratitude. Thank you. I really need to clean that up, don't I? Anyway, thank you, Shelly. I appreciate the coffee. Sidebar. I've been in the bathroom multiple times with this lower GI thing. So I'm definitely drinking the liquids because like Savannah said, water is life. And I'm losing water from the backside. Yeah, I know it's too much. You just deal with it, people. Anyway, so I've been drinking. I just had that cream soda a while ago. I put electrolytes in it, and I got extra electrolytes in my water over there, and I drank something else. Oh, well, that was coffee, so I got to counteract that. So that's, anyway. But yeah, so I'm definitely trying to pour in the water, and I'm adding electrolytes to my drink because, used to I'd say, if you got lower GI issues, you just need to eat more to replenish what you just lost. But then I'd also say if you had upper GI issues, that you need to eat more to replenish what you lost too. Anyway, but now I got a little more wisdom, and I know it ain't the food I need to replace. It's the liquid I need to replace. All right, bye. First off, this ain't no beauty contest. Don't be no judgy McJudgerson. Okay. Now we got that out of the way. Do you know, it's so funny. Earlier, after we done talked, I was like, okay, I need to upload this video. And no, I didn't, because I had one more meal to go. And also, into the bathroom multiple times. Okay, so, but I tell you, there is nothing like being at home with your own bathroom, your own toilet paper, your own wipies. There's just something to be said for being home when you got a lower GI issue. Something to be said for being home when you got an upper GI issue too. When you want to be out in public doing that. What's going on here? Here, come on down out of there. Okay, so what we got? Well, these are the cheddar pork rinds. I just put a handful of them in there. I've actually given each of the dog 2. Oh, you're over there. I switched you around. It's kind of funny. Sometimes you go along and you get those real soft, almost melt in your mouth pork rinds. Sometimes you get them and you're like, it's like crunching into a rock. That's what that one was. Anyway, so those. Now, let me tell you what I got here. This is a hot mess. I mean, a good hot mess. I took some sliced rutabaga. Dang it, I keep looking over there. And I had 2 slices of pork belly. I went ahead and fried today's and then tomorrow's. And then, while they were frying, I had some rutabaga in there. They got a little extra done. That's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with the little dark places on your food. When I was a kid, if it was toast, we'd take a knife and we'd scrape it off. It tasted just fine. You never knew it. Anyway, so I got that. And then I've also got some steak here. Scoot you out of the way. Definitely not medium. It's definitely more rare, medium rare. But, And I did season it, but, whoa, where you at there? I seasoned it real good, but can't taste it, so I'm going to put a little more salt on it. Actually, what this, dang it, you're over there. What this is, I made some of my electrolytes, which is just sodium and potassium. So in other words, salt and no salt. But I made it to that, that measurements. I got a video for how I make them if you're curious. Anyway, it's in the description of this video. Listen, y'all, I got a bunch of playlists. I'm about to show you my creamy. If you're new to my channel and you don't know what a creamy is, go to my playlist. You'll see how I make them. But anyway, so I put that electrolytes in here because I was like, well, all this is salt and no salt. Why not put some on my food too? So sometimes, whenever you see me using that, that's what's in it. Them angels are singing. Angels ain't just singing, they're singing. There's a difference. Singing is la 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 la. Sing is when you sang with your heart. Your whole heart's in it and you're singing them words, you're feeling them words. You're just like, oh, you sang it down to your soul. Singing is, oh, holy night. Singing is, oh, holy night. The stars are brightly shining. That, ladies and gentlemen, is singing. All right. My creamy tonight, it's cookies and cream, but it's either caramel or peanut butter. I'm not real sure. Let's see. Peanut butter. I ain't gonna buy the peanut butter no more. It don't really taste like peanut butter. It's a fake peanut butter taste. Well, you know what it tastes like. Kind of like, have you ever had a Buckeye? I know Lori made some. Actually, I got you on. Hang on, let me just show you. Can you see yourself, Lori? That's you. I'm going down my list trying to catch up on my videos from everybody. Anyway, Buckeye, it's like this combination of peanut butter, powdered sugar, probably some other stuff, maybe some vanilla. But that's kind of what that peanut butter flavor tastes like. Now that I'm putting into that perspective, I was having trouble because it was like, I don't taste peanut butter. But now that I think of it that way, it's like a milky, creamy, I don't know. Anyway, all right, well, that's that. But that's all I got for you. I'm going to let you go because I'm going to eat before I have to make another trip to the bathroom. Anyway, I'm all right. Like I said, I feel good everywhere else. It's just from my belly button down to my upper thighs, that area is quite dizzy. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.